All right, guys, I'm going to try to kind of read through this real quick. I got a lot of visuals in here, so hopefully I'll keep you interested. But I just worked through kind of reviewing the year that we had. Kansas City Woodturners 2020 year in review, or could be called 2020 the year that almost wasn't. I don't know. January started out with Anthony Harris demonstrating for us. He demonstrated a curve handled scoop, had variations of that. As we all know, Anthony can turn in his sleep, so he can do anything. January challenge was surface decoration of turn items from the December demo that Sue Bergstrand had done for us. We had a great variety of different projects that came out of that. I think when you look through here, you don't see anything that's exactly the same. You see a lot of variation. I think that's fun, great variety. Our show and tell in January had 10 participants as well. We had a lot of, again, no two items the same almost. I mean, just a lot of variety in the kinds of things that our group produces. I think it's a great example of the talent that exists in our members. January activities, we were still pretty active in January. Anthony Harris was awarded the status of KCWT Legend. We awarded it in January because he couldn't be there in December. Larry Dice was also awarded the 2019 Volunteer of the Year Award. And this in January was when we had an accident in the open shop. We had a bowl fly up into the ceiling and out of the ceiling, and it kind of instigated our FE safety minute that we started doing at the beginning of every meeting, just as a reminder that you should always practice safe turning. I think you can never be reminded of that enough. We hit February and the demonstration was the top guys. They demonstrated how to turn different types of spinning tops and why tops can be so much fun to turn. These tops are then donated to the Ronald McDonald House. Jerry Darter's kind of headed that up for many years, and although they put a pause on taking the tops there, at least at the beginning of the COVID, I know Jerry was just going to gather them up, and when they allowed it again, he was going to have a lot of tops for everybody. The February challenge was a goblet or a scoop based on Anthony Harris's demonstration of the curved handled scoop. And as you can see, again, everybody's interpretation of a scoop is a little different. A lot of variety in what we came up with. You say scoop, we say how high, or something like that. February show and tell had 10 participants. Just some fantastic things, different uses of wood, ways to go beyond just the lathe, add in decoration, adding surface materials, putting kits together, all of that. Just a good example of all the imagination that goes within our membership. So really liked seeing that. The February activities included the Artisan at the Gardens display and sale. I think Ann Molina is usually the one that heads that up. Lovely display there that Jack and Mike and Ann are standing behind. And then there was also the Kansas City woodworking show. We had our presence there. We had volunteer turners. We had table of displays and items for sale. We also, in that same month and going into March, we did a Urban Woodsman. We had a display in there for quite some time, actually, because due to the COVID. But we also had a demonstration where we set up a lathe and several of our members turned for people that were walking through the Discovery Center and kids that were checking things out. It was very nice activity, very great way getting the club out into the community, and that's always one of our goals. Our February silent art auction was donated by Don Frank. If you didn't see it, he's got a method where he paints the inside of the form. I think it's paint and a bunch of other techniques, but he makes it look like the outside of the bark of a tree. I think kind of a river birch kind of look. It was fantastic. Thanks, Don, for providing that silent art auction piece that month. In March, our demonstration was Mike Thomas's EDB Everyday Box. I think Mike's point with this demonstration was finding things that you could produce quickly and you could sell cheap if you like selling the items that you turn. So he has some great examples of different shapes and things that you could do, but you could do them quick because you drilled the inside. You weren't turning out any of the inside part. Our March challenge was based on the Top Guys top demo, and we had an excellent participation that month. We actually turned over 220 tops that we turned into Jerry for the Ronald McDonald House from 18, I would say 18 plus members, because I probably don't have every member that had something there. We had a lot of tops, a lot of variety, and a lot of fun turning them too. So our show and tell had 13 participants. Again, just a load of variety, a lot of different things to look at, different ways of seeing how you can use your lathe, what kind of products you can produce with the lathe. I just said it looks like the members had a lot of fun this month because there was a lot of fun items there. The March silent auction was donated by Mike McReynolds. It was his cryptic secret box. And if I recall right, Woodturner, I believe, was the secret word, but I can't remember for sure. Mike had a secret word that he spelled out and then the box would open. Thanks again, Mike, for that demonstration and for your silent art piece. April 2020, well, things got a little weird in April 2020. Live demonstrations and life as we knew it as a club were kind of canceled. COVID-19 come to town and the city was put on hold. However, our friend Jerry Darter decided to take it and put a little humor on it. So Jerry here shows his example of the all-important toilet paper roll dispenser as a practical answer to a precious commodity. And he also was the only one that I saw, and I thought of this myself, of creating his version of a turned COVID cell, I guess. So with a little sarcastic humor, the club moves on. Our April demonstration, we kind of were jumping through hoops because we had to come up with something that we could do on a Zoom type meeting. And Mike found Larry Randolph, and he came through from his live stream from his shop in Springfield, Missouri, and taught us a little bit about the coloring wheel. Unfortunately, coloring wood, I'm sorry, not coloring wheel. Unfortunately, the live stream was less than spectacular, so Larry asked us if he could do another demo in the future to make up for the problems. That's a wood turner for you. That's my comment there. So the April challenge was pushed off until May. However, we did have a little bit of show and tell and had 10 participants on our Zoom meeting. Unfortunately, no photos. However, did you realize that all the KCWT meetings are recorded and available on the KCWT website for viewing, even the Zoom meetings? So if you think you missed something or you want to see it again, please check that out. That's why they're put there. The April silent art auction, I believe this is right. I think it was postponed due to the COVID-19. I hope I didn't miss somebody because I tried hard to get that right. So just kind of how we felt at the time, like the whole world was closed and basically the world was put on hold due to the COVID-19. May 2020 came around and Jack Carson says, I can do this. And he created a demonstration right out of his shop that I think was more professionally done than the one that was done by Larry. He did a demonstration of the multi-axis bowl that you see here. expertly, I say, live stream from his workshop. Good job, Jack. The May challenge was the surface decoration based on surface decoration. I said based on Mike Thomas's EDB box demo. Actually, I think it was both surface decoration and EDB boxes that we had 12 participants that month in the challenge. The show and tell had 10 participants, and still based on the Zoom meeting format that we were doing, I don't have any photos to share other than these beautiful photos of the time catcher piece that was our May silent art auction donation by David Stalling. It blew my mind when I saw it, and then when he demonstrated it later, it blew my mind again. So June demonstration was professional demonstrator Larry Randolph again, giving us his second live stream demonstration on wood texturing from his workshop in Springfield, Missouri. He talked a little bit about sandblasting and some different ways of adding texture and interest to your projects. Basically, it was a if at first you don't succeed, try again thing. Our June challenge was based upon Jack's demo of the multi-axis bowl and had 6 participants. The June show and tell had 4 documented participants plus a few last minute entries at the Zoom meeting. I think that happened a lot. So when you see my numbers on the show and tell, a lot of times there were other people that would pop in and say, hey, I do have an item, and they just hold it up to the camera. You know, the battle for pictures was basically because it's really hard to take a picture of a Zoom meeting window. June silent art auction donated by Jerry McMaster. I think you take one look at that and you know exactly who made that. It was a Pierce ginkgo leaf turning that he had done. Jerry, thanks again for the art auction for that month. June activity, yay, and an in-person activity. This was the first time we'd been able to get together in person really since the April closing of the shop. So the club held their annual picnic at Shawnee Mission Park. This was the first in-person event held since March, and it was pretty well attended. I think we had about probably 16 to 20 people that stopped by. We wore masks, tried to maintain good social distance, and visited and ate great food again. So we weren't going to let the annual picnic get by us this year. The July demonstration was David Stalling trying to teach us all how to do the time catcher that he had provided as the art auction piece. He again worked with Jack Karstens, I think actually at Jack's shop, and they put together a heck of a nice demonstration and video, a commentated video of the demonstration of how to do that. My mind was blown, yes. July challenge was surface decoration based upon Larry Randolph's demo. It had 8 participants. July show and tell had 5 participants, and these are all noted in the wood chips if you wanted to see what those were. And the July silent art auction was donated by me. It was a Jatoba platter that I had done based on, Ellie Alvacera's demonstration that I had went to in 2019. The club's Sunday school group, a group of members that usually get together on Sunday mornings, kind of had to find some alternative location and ways to get together on Sunday mornings. But where there is a will, there is a way. So they have found ways to continue getting together on Sunday mornings so that they could continue that fellowship and just good times, talking and visiting, not always about wood turning. In fact, probably more not about wood turning than about wood turning. August 2020, we had a demonstration from world-class professional turner Mike Mahoney. It was live streamed from his shop in Northern California. We even got to walk around his shop, see the outside, see the fields of grapes that he has growing right outside his shop. He showed us around his shop, provided information about making heirloom turnings, and showed us how to cut and turn a quarter sawn white oak platter. The August challenge was the multi-axis turning based upon Dave Stallings' time catcher demo. Had 6 participants. I think it was definitely a challenge. The August show and tell had 9 participants at least. Again, always a few last minute additions. And just wondered if anybody had seen this comic in either the Wood Chips or the AAW magazine, because it was so telling for me. It just cracked me up. August silent art auction was donated by the Top guys. They donated a top turning kit and not only the kit, plus they also donated 2 hours of one-on-one training. I do know that Ed Jessic was the one who won that silent art auction, and I don't know yet if he's gotten his 2 hours from Jerry Darter or not. I'm sure he's planning on it. A nicer bunch of guys you'll never find. September 2020, we had a demonstration by Sean McMahon. He demonstrated the steps he uses in making a slimline pin. He put together quite a video. This was done in conjunction with the Freedom Pins project that was coordinated by Mark Inman. September challenge, turn a platter based on Mike Mahoney's demo. We had a whopping 13 participants and we have some pictures. As you can see, we got a lot of variety. Everybody's interpretation of a platter, I think, is a little different, but very nice work. No lack of imagination here. September show and tell had 9 participants, a lot of different kinds of looking things. These here, over here, and this and this. I always wondered how eggs and potato chips were made. Now I know. October 2020 was our demonstration of the Irish wedding goblet by Northland member and friend David Bartlett. Once again, live stream from Jack Carson's workshop. October challenge was turn a pin based upon Sean McMahon's demo. We had a remarkable 19 participants and a lot of variety in the types of pins that we had. I'm sorry if I didn't have a photo of all of them. I got as many of them as I could find. The October show and tell had 7 participants. You can almost recognize most of those. It's nice to share. The October silent art auction was donated by Tony Giordano. I hope I didn't mess your last name up, Tony. It was a beautiful Osage orange vase with some inlay, acrylic inlays, I believe it was. Very nice piece. Thank you, Tony. October activities. Oh, we had activities, that's plural, meaning more than one in October. KCWT Club held a parking lot sale of wood and tools that were donated by Sandy Spear from her late husband Bob's workshop. It was a fairly nice morning. We got out there, got it set up, and actually started purchasing items faster than we could get them out there. So the sale turned out to be the club's best fundraiser of the year, and a much needed fundraiser indeed. So we definitely thank Sandy Spear. If you ever see her or run into her, thank her for the club, because it was a big treat and a big help. Also in October, we finished up the Freedom Pins program. Program supports the troops that are serving out of the country. Mark Inman spearheaded this project, and along with a $500 donation from Henderson Engineers, our club was able to provide well over 200 pins for the troops. I think it was 220. Longtime members, new members, and even Mark's neighbors contributed to the success of this project. So thank you, Mark, for spearheading that. It was a very worthwhile project. November 2020, Not that long ago, John Beaver demonstrated for us live stream from his shop in Palisades, California. This and all the other demos of the year, again, are available on the KCWT website. So please check them out if you got an interest or you missed something or you need to see something again. I thought John did a great job. I enjoyed as much as his demo. I enjoyed kind of the show and tell he did at the first of all the different ways that he had worked with the wood and the wave going through the wood and the working with the shapes and everything. It was just fun to listen to him describe how he had kind of worked his way through all of that. The November challenge was turn a goblet based on David Bartlett's demo. And again, we had a whopping 16 participants, a lot of variety. We even had a goblet by Dan that would turn over and become a vase. How cool is that? So you can drink out of it and then put your flowers in it when you're done. This would be considered a very successful demo. November show and tell had 8 participants. Some fun items, again, variety, nothing exactly the same. Keeping our hands busy while spending more time at home. That was, it took me a little while after the COVID thing to get back in the shop. I, had like 3 weeks of just jaw dropping, what is this happening to us? But I think now we've started to kind of get back in there and have some fun again. Our November silent art auction was donated by Ed Jessic, 10-inch maple walnut segmented bowl. The photos were fantastic, but Kevin told me you had to see this thing live because it was even better looking when you were holding it in your hands. So great job, Ed, and thank you again for your donation. In November, the club was a grateful recipient of a beautiful segmented bowl turned by Bob Spear and donated by Sandy Spear and will be housed in our permanent gallery. We also received items from Virgil Boyd, 2 goblets and a baby rattle for the gallery. These items will be added to the Bob Davis collection of donated turnings, and they're available in the permanent gallery. You should really check it out. If you don't know where it is in the library right now at the shop. Anthony Harris held his first KCWT sponsored turning class in early December. Effie stopped by and took these pictures. He was excited to see so many people in a class again. So it is nice to see things starting to get a little more normal. This was the first since April of this year, and the event included face masks for all participants. And while the pictures don't really show it, I said social distancing at least while they're turning. We're all hopeful that there will be more opportunities for classes in 2021. I'm sure there will be. Member contributions for wood chips during the pandemic. That was a big thing, trying to keep information where Sean had relied a lot on the photos and the things in the show and tell and the challenge as part of the wood chips. He was needing content. So I just wanted to list some things that were done to help that situation. In April, the board members shared project examples of recent turned items. In May, the board members shared photos and descriptions of their home workshops. And in June, the board members shared stories about their inspiration, where their inspirations came from. It was about May or June was when we started asking other folks to offer stories and projects and examples and things. So in July, Anthony Harris shared a story about one of his critter creations. Anthony, I can't remember the name of it. I can picture it in my head. The August wood chips included articles by members David Stalling, Jerry Darter, and Harold Haynes. The September wood chips had articles by members Phil Sykes, Tony Giordano, Rich McCartney, David Stalling, and me. Also, a finish formula was in the September issue that Mike Thomas passed along that if you guys need to seek that out, just look up the September newsletter off of the KCWT website. You take a look at it and it's got it all listed and how to use it. In October, Steve Mill, Mark Inman, Kevin Neely, Chris Tuso, and David Burks all contributed stories to the wood chips and projects. And November featured a letter from me, which, gosh, I'm sorry, I write long letters, I guess, because it ended up a lot longer than I had expected. Oops. Let's see. Oops, I'm trying to get this thing out of my way. Okay. Can't wait to see the December issue. Feel free to share pictures or ideas with Sean McMahon for the Wood Chips newsletter anytime you want. Just send it to him. He'll work it in when he can. He's always looking for ideas to get in there anyway. And remember that all the archived newsletters and as well as the recordings of all our demos that have gone through the year are available on the website. Okay, that brings us, oops, let me get this out of my way again. Brings us to December 2020. I want to welcome all the members that showed up tonight to the annual holiday party with the 2020 pandemic twist, not being able to be together. We're glad that you could join us. And we'd like to thank all the KCWT members for another great year. That brings me to despite the pandemic. That brings me to my list of thank yous that could go on forever, and I'm sure I missed some, but I tried to list as many as I could think of quickly. KCWT board, want to thank you guys for being flexible and finding ways to keep our members engaged and active. Also want to welcome David Stalling as a new at-large member this year. Kevin Neely, want to thank you for all the website maintenance, all the treasury work, and all the club communication that you do. This club would not be what we are without all the information that you get to us all. Sean McMahon for keeping everyone informed with the monthly Wood Chips newsletter. Also for always looking for ideas on how to bring things to the club, how to make the club money. Sean's always looking for ideas. All the members who provide ideas, photos, and examples for the Wood Chips newsletter. Thank you guys. That was very helpful. It'll keep going next year, I'm sure. All of our open shop openers, thank you for the dedication this year to keep the open shop going. We were closed very short period, really, when you look back. And it's also very encouraging that we've been able to get back to the number of days that we had open shop. We're still maintaining that same number of days. Much of that is due to Anthony Harris. I want to thank you for keeping the open shop available on so many of the Wednesday and Thursday nights. Those of you that don't know, Anthony volunteered to be the shop opener. If there wasn't a shop opener available or willing to show up on any of the Wednesday, Thursday nights, he's going to continue that at least into the early next year. Thank Ann Molina and others. Sean, I know you're one that really helped in pushing to get the Etsy site up and running for the club. I think this can be a big, a really nice asset to the club. I think we need to start thinking about getting some more contributions there. If you got items that are sitting around and you've enjoyed the heck out of them for years, let somebody else enjoy them. Consider donating them for the Etsy site and for the club. Thank you, Mark Inman, for organizing and coordinating the Freedom Pins project, as well as being a great board member at large. Mark is always providing ideas of things he's trying to think of in ways to help out the club and bring money into the club. I'd like to thank all the members who donated items for the silent art auction this year. The silent art auction was probably our #2 income, and maybe actually #1 by the end when you total all of them up of the things that brought income into the club this year. And it wasn't an easy year to bring income into the club. So thank you all. all the new members who joined and stuck with the club this year, thank you. I want to assure you, it's not always like this. We want to get back to being a more active and more engaged club, more face-to-face time, and hopefully next year will allow us to do that. Have to thank Mike Thomas, who made sure we continued quality demonstrations even through the pandemic. It's not easy to get everything lined up always and to get the time frames worked out and everything. And Mike, thank you for keeping me in line when I needed guidance as a president this year. And thank you all members who participated in monthly challenges and show and tell. I think that is a tremendous way to show, especially our new members, all the kinds of things that can be done. The challenges, I think, are the best way to kind of hone your skills and learn new skills when you don't have them. But thank you for all the participation. It was great to see, and it's always a big part of the meeting. And finally, all the members who donated their time, expertise, and support of the 2020 activities. Thanks, everybody. I can go on with the thank yous for a while, but I'm sure I've missed somebody or I forgot to recognize somebody. It wasn't on purpose. I appreciate everybody that helped out this year. I have an optimistic outlook for next year. I hope that by reviewing the events of the past year, it becomes evident that we are a resilient club and that we will find ways to persevere in any situation. The ultimate success of our club is based on our members. Member participation, member donations, and member engagement is what keeps things fun and makes us a successful club. 2021 membership dues is now being accepted. Sorry. I hope everybody that is a member this year will come back to us next year. I know we probably will lose, we always lose a few to attrition and such, but I don't want people's view of the club and how it works being based on just this past year. So want to see everybody back next year. This was a tough year financially for the club. Maybe a consideration for those that could make it happen. If you can make $75 happen as a membership dues for next year, consider making it $100 and throwing an extra $25 as a direct donation to the club. I think some of that may be necessary come not next year, but possibly the following year, just to keep us being able to pay rent, basically. Okay, with that, y'all have listened to me talk way too much this year. I've become way too comfortable sitting here at the computer. So I'm going to turn this over to Sean McMahon for presentation of this year's awards. And do want to recognize our board members before I do that, Sean, sorry. Obviously, that's me talking too much. Our vice president is Mike Thomas. Our treasurer is Kevin Neely. Our secretary is Sean McMahon. Ann Molina, Ed Jessic, Sue Bergstrand, Anthony Harris, Mark Inman, and the newest member, Dave Stalling, are all of our board members at large. This group kind of is the backbone that kind of keeps the club up and running and hopefully keeps the members happy. So get a chance, thank these guys. They've done a good job this year. Thanks to everyone still awake and paying attention. Sean, I'm going to turn it over to you now for awards. Thank you.
Okay, we normally hand out a number of awards at the end of the year. This year, we felt that it wasn't appropriate to hand out ones for Legend and Hall of Fame, but we do have the Iron Turners Award. And the recipients of the Iron Turners Award will receive a couple of gift certificates from not wood, yeah, not wood, yeah, wood, no, Woodcraft, is it, Kevin?
Yeah, Woodcraft.
Woodcraft. And
There's
these
a
are
craft supply.
individuals, these are
Oh,
individuals who have participated in Craft Supply, I'm sorry. These are individuals who have participated in the challenge, and you do this every month, and you really do need to get an award, and that's Linda and Dan Carlson. For one, that's the first couple that's ever received this.
Way to go, Linda and Dan.
Anthony Harris, Ann Molina, and Mike Thomas. So they're incredible, and they'll also get a little sticker that gets put on their name tag, and if the name tag is there at the clubhouse, I'll put it on it. And then we have the most improved turner of the year. Frequently, it's somebody that we see turning an awful lot, but this year it was somebody who we just saw a lot. We didn't have this person turning in the shop on a regular basis, but this person was turning at home a lot. And boy, I'll tell you, this person really has improved a lot over the years, and that is Linda Carlson. Congratulations, Linda. You're fantastic.
Way to go, Linda.
You're showing us how to do stuff. That's wonderful.
Woohoo!
So I think from here we go to show and tell.
All
Oh,
right.
one more thing before you go to show and tell. I need to talk a little bit. If you read my email about these certificates, they are only good till the end of the year, because usually I sell them at the silent auctions. Well, we didn't have any of those this year, so I have some that we're going to give 2 to each of the iron turners, and I have 8 more that I'm going to choose names at random from tonight. And those 8 lucky people will get 1 certificate that you have to use by the end of the year. It's $10. It's real nice. And I'll send you a photocopy of the certificate by email. And if you get that email, you're it. If you don't get an email, well, sorry. There's not enough for everybody. That's it. Thank you.
All right. That sounds great. Let's see. I think the best way I can do this on the show and tell, maybe Sue, can you tell me, you'll probably need the screen to be shared with you, and can you just tell me the name and
Well, I need to share the screen because I have the things set up on my directories. There are.
You're ready, Sue.
What?
You are
should be good.
Co-host. Well,
Okay.
I thought you were.
I have 2 directories. One, Anthony sent me a collection of pictures of things that David Albright turned. So I'm going to share that one first.
Great.
Okay.
this is David, this is the bowl you turned in the demo.
Oh, wow.
What kind of wood is that? That's beautiful.
I don't know. It's a real whitewood. It may not be pine, but it's a, I don't know what to say. It's a whitewood. It looks like you put some tung oil on it. Is that right, David? Is he gone maybe? Yeah.
He's here.
Is he
David,
muted?
what kind of finish? Oh, he may be muted.
No, he's not.
No, he's not muted.
He's getting something from the kitchen.
David, do you remember what finish you used on that bowl that you were turning in the demonstration?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, the bowl that was in that demonstration. Yes, I put several layers of tung oil on there.
Very nice.
Yeah, I just put tung oil on there, and that's how I do that.
I love that finish.
That looks good.
This is an early bowl that you turned, David. I think you did it with that other guy, or at least you glued the blank together with it. It's got zebra wood in it. I can't tell exactly what the bottom
Yeah,
is.
with David Farquhar. That's right. Yes. Yeah, that was an early bowl, but that was a bowl that David wasn't a very good teacher. And I don't mean that poorly, but it just was. He got me started back on the lathe, and then Anthony really took over from there.
It's a segmented piece.
Mhm. This
So
same
you're a
bowl, yeah.
segmented turner too, David?
Oh, if it's round, I turn it.
Hackberry,
Now, that's
turquoise in it,
beautiful.
walnut. I don't know what. Oh, is that marble wood?
Looks like koa.
Yeah, I think it's a
Yeah.
harder wood than koa. I don't remember.
Think Tiger would.
That's the hedge fund. Hackberry again. Lots.
Wow.
That cherry hollow form in the front, I think, is the main image.
David, this is Sean. These are really impressive. I think your skill is good enough now that you can start turning tops.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
You're always
Make a
good, man.
top guy out of you yet.
Thank you.
I don't know. Is that hackberry again? I can't tell.
Yeah, it looks spalted hackberry.
Ambrosia maple.
Uh,
Larry Daniels bowl.
Purple heart.
Oh,
Looks like
I hate
pine
doing that.
on top of the purple heart.
Well, that
Oh,
really
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Two different kinds of wood.
Hackberry again. These are the lidded bowls he was talking about.
Quite impressive, David, that you can turn a lid for a bowl.
It's fun. It takes a little bit, but I like doing it.
There's
You
the
gotta
ambrosia
really-
maple.
Wow.
Vera wood.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, that was a fun piece.
Looks
that-
great.
Oh, wow.
Just like ambrosia. I don't know. Oh, ambrosia wood.
That's definitely ambrosia there.
Uh-huh. Marble wood on the right, hackberry on the left,
Oh my. Okay.
ash in the back left.
It's amazing how he can undercut those rims.
I don't know. It's walnut on the top. It looks like. I can't tell. Purple heart on the bottom. It's hard to know at the middle.
Okay.
Filled with turquoise.
Uh-huh.
My wife helps me with those a little bit. Yeah.
Wow.
Walnut. Couple of trays. That is a Rayburn apple. I just made that up. That was
Look at
the
that.
setup. Yeah, that's the setup he had in his show that you did with the. Wasn't associated with the company you were at?
Oh, Home Market, right, on Crown Center.
Yeah.
What piece is that you're showing? What?
It's the big, tall
Five shil-
shelving unit.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mini pieces. Very nice.
Again, it's the same thing. The screwdrivers in the upright in the log,
Oh, yes.
and to the right there, bottle stoppers, bunch of trays on the left.
I guess I'd forgotten Jane had given you those. Okay.
Uh-huh. Bottle stopper. Another one, yeah.
That's cool.
That's still the show. Bottle or the screwdrivers, close up. Looks like Christmas.
He turns better beads than I do.
Cherry vase,
Oh, yeah.
walnut vase, and a lot of vases. David looking very austere.
Yeah, he's looking serious.
Okay, so that's the David Albright group. Now we're going to share there.
Thanks for sharing those, David.
And let's find everybody else's.
When Sue calls out your name, go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about your project.
Right.
Okay, it starts with Anthony Harris.
Yeah, this is a box you've seen before. Yeah, you can go ahead and move to the next one's quick. And the important thing here is the lid. It's a real pretty piece of wood and I didn't want to waste it, so I cut a ring out of the excess from the lid. Let's go ahead and go on. And I turned this box, I call it the Cirrus box because it's made out of dogwood. And the ring that I cut off, wasted off that other piece, I chased the thread in it and then cut a slice and used that for the ring on the box, Saturn-like box. This is Macassar ebony. It's just a regular old box. And this was kind of fun. This was a piece of Osage orange that I've had forever and ever and ever. And I got 2 boxes out of it, but it was all cracked pretty bad. And so I used the Japanese pull saw to cut real thin kerfs and then put in veneer across cracks with epoxy. All right,
Good
saw
idea.
that. Yeah, that's a second. These are what my Warpies have turned into. This is hawthorn. And what I've learned is it's best not to put the pith in the turning. And so these are made out of a larger piece of wood, and I just took the billets from the sides of the wood, so it doesn't include the pith, and they didn't crack, and it worked very satisfactorily.
You mean those aren't potato chips?
No, sir.
Look like Pringles.
Uh-huh. It was a lot of fun. I like the way these turned out. I think these are the best I've done. No, we've already done this. Oh,
There were a couple of oddly named ones that may be the duplicates there. Okay, this is Bill Paulo.
I thought those were going to be in the, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought those were going to be in the challenge for next month.
Well, they'll also be in there, but you can talk about them
Okay.
today.
Those are just, I call that my lighthouse pepper mill. It's made with maple cherry, walnut, and Paduke. And obviously I laminate a block together, and then I cut it on a bias. And that's how I achieve the angle type design. It's pretty simple to do. It just takes time. That's another rolling pin that I made for my wife that's done the same way. That one is with Paduke, walnut, and bird's eye maple.
This is Chuck Levinson.
Yeah, well, it is the season. And that's Dave and that's Clem. And this is Mrs. Snowman. And actually the inside, she's full of Hershey's Kisses.
Is Dave stalling?
I was motivated by the last demo that John gave us on his turnings, and that was such a fascinating thing to me. I figured out how you make a winged bowl, or I mean a wave bowl. So here shows a basic setup. I turned a piece of walnut and then made a jig for my bandsaw, and then that's about a 4-inch radius on the base. It's got a groove cut on the bottom. The cable clamp with a piece of pad under it to hold it down to keep everything happy. And then if you go to the next one, you see what happens when you do it again with Osage orange and you glue the thing back together again, a little sanding in between. And then one more. So that's just gluing it in the lathe. And here's the net result of turning it on, make a box out of it, just a friction fit lid, and the little curlicue on the top knot. I'll tell you when you see the next one. That's the intersection of 2 different hole saws in 2 dimensions. So it's a curved circle. It was a half of a circle. A ring would be another way to think about it. And I made another bigger one where you just take a hole saw and drill a big hole, and then you do a little hole, and then you turn it 90 degrees and saw through with the big one again. And then you get this curved piece of wood. And I thought it went pretty well with the wave and the bottom. So that was a real fun thing to do. And that's kind of segmented turning that I can get my hands on. So thank you.
This is Chris Coyen.
Oh, this was definitely inspired by the John Beaver demo. The funny thing is that instead of coming up with the shape, making all the calculations, and then building the rings, I basically had some white oak strips that I had been given a while back, and I had a little bit of, there was some cherry also, and I used that combination to create a 12 segment rings, built the rings, and then started stacking them up to see what kind of shapes I could come up with out of them, and then came up with a shape and then turned the rings to match the shape. This one is my second attempt, and this is just a segmented bowl. It's kind of in a tornado bowl type shape, kind of an angled sides. Is there another? Yeah. Using veneer and different colors of veneer in between to kind of accentuate the segments on this all the way through. I was real pleased with the way this one turned out. My seams were probably as good as anything I've ever done. I've only done a few segmented items, but I really pushed to get my seams together on this one. So I think that's it.
Linda Carlson.
It's
Well,
Dan.
yeah, it's actually mine.
Okay.
I needed a new shoehorn, and I saw a kit at Craft Supply, so I made myself a shoehorn. And then those other things are those key chains or key rings that you can take apart and it becomes a knife. I made 3 of those. It'll go to somebody for Christmas.
Mike Thomas.
Oh, I just finished these up. This was a commission project I did from a woman in Prairie Village who has 3 sons, and they all grew up climbing in the backyard on this tree, and had a tire swing from it and everything, and it got hit by lightning, and so it had to come down. This was over a year ago, and so I had this wood, and I let it dry, and it spalted, and there's 3 of the 4 main fungi in this piece of wood. That so there's zone lines, and there's blue gray spalting, and then there's the white Spalding. Anyway, they're really pretty neat. I was pleased with the way they came out. They're like 13 and a half, 14-inch bowls. So they're, nice salad bowls. And I just tried to turn the best bowl I could out of that piece of wood, and then finished it with, I call it China oil. Basically, it's Mike Mahoney's formula for the Danish oil, but instead of BLO or boiled linseed oil, I'm using tung oil, and I like it better. But yeah, and then I took them over and had some professional photography done. So they came out real nice, I think. I put the pear in there to try to, so you could see what size they are. I don't know if that worked very well. Oh, the inscription on the bottom, I wrote, this one it says, Levin family backyard maple. And she just went nuts over it. I delivered those the other day, and she said that what she's going to do is wrap those up individually and then have the boys at Christmas and these are all adult men now, put pictures of them when they were climbing that tree and swinging, from the tire, put pictures from long ago in those bowls, and then boys will figure out, oh, this is that tree. And she said, I'm feeling pretty smart right now. Anyway, she was delighted. They were fun to make. To fill all the damn cracks in it, though. Oh, and that's a piece from my sister. Just a walnut platter that came from their farm, and it's got all the bug holes in it. So couldn't really buff it or anything, but it's just got, the Danish oil finish on it. Oh, I guess I sent you too many pictures, Sue.
John?
Oh, well, it's a minion, and I had some hedge, so I figured, well, I won't have to paint it because it's already yellow. And I figure if it starts to darken, they can just say, well, he spent a lot of time in the sun and he's getting a tan. And thanks, Chuck, for your help. But I changed his name because it's made out of Osage Orange. His name had to be Bo.
Oh,
Bo Dark.
Actually, after it gets its suntan, then it'll be called Bow Dark.
Yeah, and I hollowed it out and I took the bottom off. I sent it to one of my sons. He's got 2 sons of his own, and he can use it as well. The elf on the shelf is only for Christmas time, but he can have the minion around all year long, and he can put stuff in it and hide it places and do stuff with it. The kids will have a good time with it.
This one is
Let me
mine.
help you with the.
Oh, sea urchin.
I was trying the sea urchins for the first time this year. The finials are done from hard maple, and then I did a sanding seal with CA glue, and then there's a iridescent gold paint added over that, so it's a subtle effect, but they're sort of gold finials.
they
And-
look like glass.
Very nice.
And that's the end of the collection there.
All right. Thanks, Sue, for sharing those with us. If anybody else has something they just want to hold up in front of the camera and talk about, now's the time to do it.
I have a small item to share.
Go ahead.
So I also was impressed by the demo last month, and I cut those cedar blocks and I cut it on a bandsaw, and how do I do that? And then I cut a 1/8 of an inch sycamore, pressed it, glued it, and let it dry for a day, and then I turned it on, and that's the outcome.
Good.
Good job,
Cool.
Effie.
And
Nice
that's,
job, Evan.
I had two balls from the same thing.
It's great you got everything to line up right. Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Effie. Is there anybody else that's got something they want to share?
Oh, okay. I'm going to show you something. Let's see. This is it's about a 14-inch. Let's get more light. A
Bigger than 14.
elm, American elm bowl, and it's really nice, except for one thing. It's a little thin on the bottom.
Wasn't that insects?
Just a little thin there. Anyway, you really can't see it this way.
Yeah, you don't notice it that way at all.
Yeah, I don't know, what I'm going to do with it, but anyway, it's a little thin.
Well, can't you just put acrylic in that channel there and build it up?
That's an idea.
Acrylic.
Just put black, put something that won't, you can't see through, and that'll give the backing to the wood.
Yeah. See, the inside looks okay.
I'm all about those changes to designs due to unforeseen circumstances.
You don't know how careful I was sanding this, and then because I knew it was kind of thin, but I didn't think it was this thin.
Man.
So it's right there. Anyway, that's
As
it.
big as the bowl is, I'm glad it didn't fly off when it got that thin.
If you've gone all the way around, it could have been an entire acrylic base.
The recess is on is on the outer part of that. That was where I had raised up a little, to sign it.
Okay.
So that's where that's at. So yeah, I wasn't in any danger of the thing coming off, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you could use a vacuum chuck to fix it, though.
Nah, probably not. No, you say acrylic. I don't know what I was thinking about, mixing something up and pouring it in there in that little recess, and that would firm it up a little bit and maybe salvage it. But I don't know what to use.
Just make sure you put some tape or something on the other side so it doesn't just float through it.
Yeah.
You'll have to pick
put
something
behind it.
You'll have to pick something that has the color of the
Paint it
wood in it,
first.
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, something like Alumilite.
Mix some wood shavings in with some epoxy.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
Some
that'd work.
Bondo, is that
Just
what
try
you
to get
said,
your
Joe?
tone.
Yeah.
Bondo.
Yeah.
A woodturner's friend.
Fiberglass.
Well, you can always do the ultimate JB weld.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Mike,
Yeah.
I'm with my friend. You were wondering where I am? I'm with Ralphie.
I was trying to figure it out. I saw the bunny suit and I'm going, what is that?
It's Ralphie.
It is Ralphie.
Well, shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah, where's the gun?
Oh, did you
I
hear
heard
that
of some-
story down in Texas?
Yeah, the Santa Claus that got in trouble for telling the kid he wouldn't buy him a Nerf gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't believe that the Santa Claus got in so much trouble over that. I think he had he was just trying to do the right thing. I guess in Texas, you don't take away the guns in Texas.
Nope.
I think every kid got a 45 Magnum.
Yeah.
Santa's lap. That's in Texas, though.
Maybe that's all he was saying. Ask your dad for a bigger gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
my
Nerf
first
gun. You got an AR-15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
This Dave Stalling, you got a little time for a couple of quick slides? I got
Yes.
I got to share my screen with you though.
Okay.
Let me set you up, David.
All right.
You're not set up yet. I'm trying to find you. Here you go.
Are we there?
Yes.
Okay. I got to get that out of the way. I just wanted to give a quick report on a little item I bought on a whim, thinking, what can be, how can it be, what can it be worth? And this is a little cube about 8 inches square and 8 inches tall that is a laser that is, compatible with PCs and Macs, and it's hooked up to my Mac. And they've got a little piece of tan paper in the middle. But anyway, you create an image, and then the neat thing about this is there's no bottom to it. It sits on your table. Of course, you don't want to burn your table, but the laser is mounted on an XY platform in the top of that box, so that all the motion is done in the head of this box. And so what I did then was, figure out, okay, I created a little image and just burned that in the bottom of a platter. And it took maybe, 2 minutes to do that. And so the fun was getting the graphics on my computer, because I really hadn't done that for a long, long time. And
David,
so,
do you have it up on your screen? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm still seeing
Neither
you.
am I.
oh, okay.
I'm not
So I don't
seeing
think
it
you've
either.
shared the screen yet.
Okay, well, sorry about that. Did you
That's
see
okay.
the box?
No.
Well, golly damn.
We just seen you.
Did you laser cut that ship in your cabinet behind you?
I'm afraid not. Okay, let's share that.
Here we
And
go.
now, do you see the
Oh.
box?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is for just a dollar or two under $90.
Huh.
And I was just astonished at, and how about that? Can you see the image?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, wow.
Now you're
Yeah.
thinking about, what's the right image and so forth. And that image is only about 1 3/4 inches in diameter. And I just thought it turned out to be, wow, that's really was worth $90. I was happy with that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Where'd you get it?
I'm sorry,
Where'd you get it?
on eBay? Where else do you get stuff? Oh my. So,
I haven't seen anything. Now, do you just set it on your piece?
yeah, I just, of course, you got to get your bottom up to be right. And then this piece, I tried to burn the image. I don't have the picture on it, but it wasn't nearly as dark. And so that's oak, and you could tell, it's not, but that was just a one-shot deal. I had to make a little bench, but it's really neat that I thought for the money, you can't hardly beat that. So now I can't find my place to turn off the screen sharing, but
I'll turn it off for you.
all right.
There you go.
Okay, it's
Thank you.
off.
Thanks for sharing that, David. I haven't seen anything like that.
Well, I thought it was a ripoff, frankly. I said, how can they make something that actually works for
that cost.
that cheap, you know? So
But it
anyway,
did.
I'll give you the graphics on it it's just up to you to come up with the image. And I downloaded a shareware or freeware program. It took me half a day to get it all working. And I ended up going on the Apple store and buying a graphics program that puts text on circles. So text on circles is not a trivial issue. You would think it'd be a no big deal. So,
Sean, you always wanted the laser engraver at the shop.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't work on anything bright, you know, white or bright, but it will on dark stuff. So anyway,
Something else. I've never seen something like that. Thanks for sharing.
I smell a demo coming up.
Does
David, if you'll do the demo, I'll bring the African blackwood.
okay.
All right.
It'll be a very short demo, 1 minute.
That's cool.
Anybody got any fun plans for the holidays, or is everybody like us kind of staying homebound a little bit more?
Not going anywhere.
Me either.
No,
Yeah, we canceled more
Nowhere.
plans than we made this year.
none of the kids are coming home. I mean, we made it this far and, you know, we want to see it through to the end healthy.
Sure. I'm pretty impressed with our club as a whole. I've not been aware of anybody in our club that's, you know, had any health issues due to COVID. So I hope that continues.
You know, Chris, I'm sorry. One thing that you failed to mention is that, you know, through all the classes and, you know, the Anthony's classes and everything, I don't know of anyone who's contracted COVID from, you know, exposure at the, you know, at a club function.
No, not at all. And I think if we knew that was the case, we would definitely be letting everybody know so that, you know, they would be able to contact trace basically if they felt like they had been around that individual. But I don't know of anybody that's had an issue with it. So I'm real
Probably
pleased
because
with that.
I know.
Because we breathe so much dust, you can't get any COVID either.
No room.
Yeah, well,
Isn't that the truth?
But I know more and more people that got it, you know, friend of friends and things like that. So the numbers are, it's definitely there.
Yeah, it's getting closer to it. I have the first family member. I have a nephew that had it, and that was the first family member. But I mean, it just keeps getting a little closer. So
Yeah.
I think we've got a group of most of our turners are old enough to know that they need to watch it, and I think we've done a good job of kind of, you know, keeping an eye on ourselves and not getting out there and getting too exposed. And I think we'll have to fight through that at least through the first of next year, you know, and be diligent, probably keep the open shop running more or less like it is now, trying to limit it to 10 until we get a little bit more comfort level. But quite honestly, our numbers right now are worse than they were back in March, you know, when everybody was so scared. So the introduction of the vaccine is going to, I think, really start getting people a little bit more comfort. But I think there's also a lot of people that are apprehensive about that too. So
Monday Night Football, actually, it's playing up here and they just showed a delivery on the screen and I unmuted for a quick second. They were showing the first vaccines arriving in Ohio, going to the hospital.
Yeah.
On Monday Night Football. So yeah, they're starting to get out there, but each state has different rollout plans for who and where is getting them.
I got to put a shameless plug out for everyone who wants a vaccine. Push for the Pfizer vaccine. Okay, that helps boost the stock price. As a retired Pfizer employee, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
No,
Yeah,
I'll
but you
take
can
it from
only get that
anybody.
one if you've got adequate refrigeration facilities.
Get some
Make
dry
sure you notice
ice.
there will be side
Thaw it out
effects.
before you get it.
You put some dry ice in your coffee mug and go get some vaccine. So, well, gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for a great, fun year. It's been different. This getting together on screens versus getting together in person. I'm sure everybody's a little tired of that, but I honestly was very thankful that we had the technology that allowed us to do it, and that we had a board that was really pushing to not just shut the shop down or shut the club down over these months, but to try to keep us engaged, try to keep activities going. Kevin, I didn't thank you for your Saturday morning virtual shop that you held since, I think, April, or it might have been May when you introduced that, but
As soon as we could.
what a great thing.
Started.
What a great thing. What a
Enjoyed
great
it.
opportunity to allow people to, still get together and have some conversation, be it over wood turning or just friends talking. But thanks for that. Everybody that has donated the silent art auction pieces this year, thank you all. Again, I know that the parking lot sale was our biggest, one event money maker for the club. And when I say money maker, it isn't like our club strives to be, pumping out money and making a big bank account. We were literally trying to survive through this year, but really get our bank account in shape for the year that follows this next year. So next year, what we'll be pushing for is to try to keep our funds up in order to address the 2022 year. So it'll be important that we keep our membership as whole as we can. We'll probably be hitting up. I felt like I was hitting people up or members up a lot this year for contributions of one way or another. I'll probably be doing that a little bit more or just as much next year. Trying to keep ourselves viable then going into the 2022 year. Basically, from a financial standpoint, Kevin assures us that we're in good shape for 2021, but that we will need funds coming in to keep us in shape so that 2022 we're not lacking. We got basically our biggest costs to the club is our monthly rent, and we're fine to get us through next year. We're all comfortable with that. But anybody that I can encourage to, give a little bit more than the membership dues, to contribute items to different projects, different activities that we're doing, all of that is all driven to keep the club functioning, keep the club fun, keep our people engaged, keep activities happening, get out in the community, let people know that we're here, that we exist, that we're a fun group of guys and girls, and that we want to show everybody what we can do and how fun it is. So with that being said, I want to wish everybody happy holidays. I'll wish Merry Christmas to everybody except Effie. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
After all this, we're in the middle of the season of Hanukkah, and how many pairs of socks has Effie gotten so far? I've gotten 5 pair.
Effie, do you get socks?
No. But I got a Christmas Present.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go.
well, you're
good.
ahead of me. I've gotten 5 pairs of socks, Effie.
Lucky
Every
man.
night I get a new pair of socks.
That's your Hanukkah gift?
Yep.
Remember to change them.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Same to
Merry
you. Everybody stay
Christmas.
safe.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, keep up the good work of staying healthy because everybody's doing a good job so far. David Albright, thank you very much
Yes.
for sharing your video tonight and talking with us.
Great fun. Thank you,
Yes.
Anthony.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Thanks for the
Bill-
good meeting, Chris. Hey, good job.
Bill,
buddy.
make sure that
Good
you
job, Chris.
thank your daughter again from the club's sake of helping us get through that beginning of the Etsy and getting that
Oh.
up and rolling. We really appreciate that. Make sure she knows it.
Oh, I will for sure. Thank you, though.
Okay.
Congratulations to all the award winners.
Yes.
Yeah, good job, Iron Turners. All right. I'm going to leave, guys. Have a great night.
Here.
And I'm sure we'll see you around. If nothing else, I'll see you January meeting. So thanks for showing up. And I really appreciate you guys coming in and jumping in on these video meetings. I know they're not ideal, but it is our opportunity to get together. So thanks, everybody. Have a great holiday
Best we can
season.
do right now.
Good job,
Thank you,
Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
No problem.
Thank you, Chris. Good night, all.
Night.
Adios.
Good night.